Hi guys, welcome. My name's Katie. I run the brand new blog Costume Couture, and this is the first of what will hopefully be lots and lots of little fashion DIY videos that I put together for you. I'm really excited. I love making things and I like teaching, and so I'm hoping that I find some like-minded people in doing this, and I hope that I can inspire people to do more creative things for themselves, to make things for themselves, and yeah. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this, it's kind of like Statue of Liberty-esque little ribbon headpiece. It's just made out of cross-grain ribbon and fabric covered headband. When you fold the ribbon and sew it onto the headband. Yep, and then you'll come up with this super duper little geometric headband thing. You can wear it, you know, to a party, or you can even wear it just day to day. I've worn it about with just like jeans and a t-shirt, and I got lots of compliments, so don't be afraid to try something a little different. Anyway, so let's get on to the tutorial. I hope that you enjoy. Let me know what you think, and okay, what are you going to need to make your crown? Firstly, you're going to need some cross-grain ribbon. It should be about 2.5 centimeters in width, and get about a meter of it. You will need a fabric covered headband, which you can get from craft stores generally. You will need a needle and thread, and you'll need some pins, and that's it. Okay, so the first step in making your crown is you're going to need to fold the ribbon into a series of sort of triangular shapes. You start by grabbing the right hand side of your ribbon with the long left hand side trailing. Put your thumb probably about 5 centimeters up, and then with your left hand you go up and around like this, and you kind of wiggle it around until you get a sort of triangular shape here. You want the point to be nice and pointy, just like that, and then you grab a pin and you just secure that into place, just like that. Then with your left hand you fold the left hand side of the ribbon back, and just where you just want the edge of it to meet the corner of the triangle, like that, and then you secure that into place with another pin. That's a needle. Just like that. And you're going to do that again, so you could put your thumb just next to the triangle that you already made, and then up and around with the left hand side of the ribbon, and then wiggle it around until it's got a nice point, then pin it down again. Then this time when you fold the left hand side of the ribbon back, you want to make sure that, well, firstly it's still touching that corner, and secondly that it's not, the fold is sort of equal to the bottom of the fold for the first bit. And then grab a pin, pin it down, and then you're just going to keep doing the same thing for another about 7 more triangles, so you've got a total of 9. And I'm just going to speed through this process now so that you don't have to watch me do it over and over again. Next step, I'm going to show you how to sew these together so that you don't need those pins in there, and then sew them to the headpiece, and then voila! So before you start, it's a good idea to iron the folded ribbon flat so it's easy to work with and you can see the creases properly. I actually replaced all my pins with flat pins before, because I used like those bobbly head pins and it was hard to iron with them, they got in the way. So I suggest you do that too. Okay, so I have a doubled up needle and thread here with a knot at the end of it, and then we're going to start on the left hand corner of the first triangle here. So you're going to put your ribbon through, put your needle through the very corner here and through the back of the ribbon, the back of the triangle too, and pull that through. And then you come up and around through the corner of the right hand corner of the second triangle, and then pull that through. And then you just go around a couple of times to make sure that that is secure. So do exactly the same thing as started with. I'm using yellow thread, by the way, but you will want to be using the same colour as your ribbon so that you see the thread as little as possible. I just want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. Pull it tight, and then one more time through here again. And then you're going to get the eye of your needle, so turn your needle around and try not to get everything caught. So you can pull out the second pin actually, and then you get the eye of your needle, and you're going to send it through behind the layer of ribbon here, so you don't want it to catch on anything. You're basically just sending it through like this, and like that. And then you're going to do the same thing that you did before, but you're going to start just with the back layer of, like where the corner meets the back layer. You just want to send it through the back. There we go. See, that's come through behind the fold there, and then into the corner. And then you're going to go up and around again through the right hand corner of the next triangle, and then you're going to catch that first corner again and go around a couple of times, and then you just continue on like that for the rest of the triangles, and then we'll move on to step 2. So next, before we start sewing the bottom together, you need to prepare the edges because they're looking a little bit rough at the moment. You start by folding this ribbon, the edge back up like this, and you want this to kind of follow the curve here. And then this part you fold up like this, so you create a sort of corner there. And then you grab a pin, any pin will do, and you secure this down like this. Then if we flip this over, you can see that there's this rough edge along here. What we need to do is we want to snip this off so that you can't see any of it when you turn it around. So I'm just going to cut this like this. And then if I take the pin out here and fold this down, you can secure the pin, secure that into place like that. So that's one side, and then the other side of the ribbon you're going to do the same thing but backwards. So now it's got its edges, and we can start sewing along here so it's all secured together. So I've got my needle and thread again, doubled over. What you're going to do is start by putting the needle through the inside of this fold here, just up to the very corner, if you can get it. So I'll take the pin out and pull that right through so the knot's hidden inside. Okay, so now you're going to basically run your needle along the inside of this fold here, so just catch a little bit of it like that. And then on the bottom edge here, stick your needle in there and run the needle along the fold a little bit, the inside of the fold a little bit again. And as you can see, that kind of pulls the two layers together like that. And then you go back up to the top layer again and run your needle along there. And then the bottom again. Probably should have told you to iron this actually, make it a little bit easier. There's my scrappy edge there. That's secured down. With the edge there, I'm just going to edge it a little bit by doing several stitches along there to kind of catch it in. It'll make sure that it doesn't fray any further than it already has. And then I'll just snip the edges off because they look ratty. Then we're going to continue doing what we were doing before. So you run your needle along the inside of the fold. It's very tight there now. And then you grab the bottom, and then you can run that along right to where it intersects with the next layer of ribbon, like this. And then you go through the bottom again and run it along to the next one, and then you just keep doing this again and again until you reach the end. And you can do the same thing with this corner as well, what we did before. So that's step 2. Okay, now for the final part of, well, we're going to sew the ribbon to the headband. So firstly I've just ironed my ribbon again just to make it nice and sharp. So there's 9 points, and you want the 5th point, which is the middle one, to sit right at the top of the headband. So it's a center point. And you're going to get a pin, and we're just going to pin that into place onto the headband just to give you an idea of where everything's going to sit. So then you can pin the other parts of it around. So they're kind of like that. So that looks like it would sit nicely. Then you get your needle and thread, again, a new one, and I'm going to send it through to the very corner here. Pull that through, and then you're going to catch just a tiny bit of where that would meet the headband, just on the very edge, and pull that through like that. And then you're going to go around a couple of times to make sure that that's secured into place properly. So, and once you've done that, you go back up through the bottom fold of the ribbon again, just like we were doing before, sort of catching a little bit, and then it's called a slip stitch actually. So you go along through the fold and you catch just a little bit of the headband here on the very, very edge, and then you go back up into the fold again. Just run your needle along a little bit of the way. and then as you go that just secures that into place. So you do that for the rest of the headband, and then at the very end that's it. You've got your pretty little headband, and you can go around to supermarkets and bars looking pretty like a princess.